Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Sweden have its second PM in a week. It's the same, this ex-incompetent finance minister. 101 people voted for her and 174 people in the parliament voted against her. That's called Swedish democracy. So 101 want to have her and 174 don't. And under the system, she becomes the PM. You need 175 against not to get through. And what she did, she bribed a communist, a Kurdish communist, who is basically a foreign minister of Kurdistan in Sweden. But somehow she got voted in the parliament through the left party. And then she left the left party. So she runs her own agenda now. She can hardly speak Swedish, but she's a member of the parliament. And she was the one who now, a Kurdish woman was the one who decided who the Swedish PM is going to be. That's how horrible Sweden have turned out. Anyway, yesterday she had a thing with the king. So it's now official that Sweden is going under faster than Titanic. And she nominated her ministers. It's the biggest disaster of all time. We have one minister who's being charged with sexual assault just a couple of days ago, but that wasn't enough to stop her from nominating him. A complete incompetent person, hasn't done anything since he was in the former government as well. But sexual assault, what is that? The Sweden Democrat would do sexual assault, it would be front page newspaper, and they would demand the person to be kicked out of the party. In the Social Democrats, you get rewarded for a minister position for sexual assault. It's a minor thing he did, but he hasn't been found guilty yet, so let's see. The law is not doesn't apply to all in Sweden. Social Democrats have a red book. If you're a Social Democrat, or an immigrant for that sake, you can do what you want. And then we have a guy called Anders Ygeman. He has so many bad debts, unpaid bills, the whole 9 yards. If he wasn't a Social Democrat, he would probably be in jail. But he became a minister. A couple of years ago he had to resign as a minister because we had an IT scandal which he was in charge of. So he resigned. He wasn't charged, which he should be, for treason. But a couple of years later, of course, as a Social Democrat, he was back in the loop. He became the energy minister. Now we have an energy crisis beyond comprehension. They closed down fully functional nuclear power plants. Instead, they're burning oil and importing electricity that is made by coal. He was in charge. A couple of weeks ago he said we have no problem with electricity in Sweden and it's not going to be expensive. Today is the most expensive electricity ever in Sweden and we lack electricity. Completely incompetent on the position he was. Behind bars would be the only place he would be competent enough to be. What do the new PM of Sweden do? Yeah, she promotes him. She gives him 3 positions. One is an integration minister. We don't need to integrate people. We need to deport people. You don't follow Swedish system, Swedish customs, learn Swedish, work and contribute to the society. Go home. Go back to your own country. If you do crimes, go back to your own country. Now this guy is going to spend billions and billions of Swedish taxpayers' money to try to think that illiterate people from the MENA region will become Swedish productive citizens. I mean, how do these people think? It's never going to happen. You're not going to change just because you go to Sweden. You're going to live your life. And you're supported by the Swedish taxpayers. You don't have to change your thing. Anyway, so you're incompetent, you get fired, you destroy the electrical system, you get rewarded by the new PM, Magdalena Andersson, who destroyed the Swedish finances when she was the finance minister. She got to become the party leader. The Swedish people have no say in this. This is all done over our heads. Then we have a guy called Morgan Johansson, who's been a complete fiasco, and he's anti-Swede. He hates the Swedish people. All he wants is to fill up Sweden with the illiterate MENA people. He was the migration minister. He lies every time he opens his mouth. He says we don't have a mass immigration in Sweden, but his own migration board, you can go on their homepage and see. We're taking in over 100,000 people a year. And he says we're not doing it. But his own homepage says we do. How many permanent residences we give out and how many passports we give out. 30,000 Somalis, I think, have got Swedish passport. I think America, Australia and these strict countries are really happy when these so-called Swedish are traveling to their countries. Swedish passport will be worth nothing soon because of these people. Anyway, Morgan Johansson has completely failed in everything he has done as a minister. Now he gets rewarded. He's the justice minister. He's now the super justice minister. The only thing he's done is creating job for consultants. He hasn't created anything. It's been a complete failure, and he gets rewarded. I don't even know what to say. But for you who follow Swedish politics, I made a program last night, became very popular, about what I think of each and every member. We have a transvestite as well. She was obviously, he or she, I don't know how you call those things, born as a man but it's now a woman. That's her decision. I don't care. If the person does a good job, that's the only thing I care about. But this is probably the most incompetent government the world has ever seen. And the more harm you've done to the Swedish people and the hard-working Swedish taxpayers, the more you've been rewarded by Magdalena Andersson. What is going to be next? There was someone on Twitter this morning who said give them a chance. We have given them a chance. Many chances, too many chances. Then to finish this video off, there is a girl who's now a minister of environment and climate. She was asked in Swedish TV yesterday how many nuclear power plants have been closed down and how many do we still have. She said, I don't know, I have no idea, maybe 3. We had 12, we closed down 6, something like that. I don't follow that, but she's now a minister. She has no clue, no education, knows nothing. The only thing she's doing is banging Morgan Johansson. It's... I don't even know what to call it. It's like following a cartoon, made-up cartoon. Sweden was the most organized society in the world, has now turned into a complete joke. And it's not even a joke, it's playing with people's lives. We've destroyed the country. And now with this government who hasn't been elected, Sweden has, I think, one of the first female dictators in the world. Because it's not democracy when you can just appoint somebody to become PM. They should be embarrassed. It should have been an extra election. The Swedish people should have its say. But no, not when it comes to the Social Democrats. Anyway, this Annika Strandhäll, who became the Environment and Climate Minister, she used to be something else before, I'm not sure. But she's called the Twitter Queen of Sweden. She's on Twitter every single minute of the day, paid by the Swedish taxpayers, talking bad about everybody who doesn't have the same ideas as her and her party. She's a horrible person. She's probably a nice mom and all that, but the way she thinks is beyond my comprehension. If anybody else would talk all that shit, on Twitter, they'd be banned for life. But no, she's a social democrat. They can do it. So let's see what's going to happen. But in my opinion, it was the last nail in the coffin for Sweden as a sovereign nation. After the Civil War, 20, 30 years from now, hopefully somebody will save us. The Chinese is controlling our electricity because they've invested in all these dangerous wind-powered wind turbines. Sweden don't realize what the, you know, how the Chinese thinks. So we'll see what's going to happen. I just wanted to do a quick update, but I said a year ago Sweden is a failed state, and I said 2024, 2026. I made a program about it, but it became a failed state even faster, a total failed state, than I would say. I don't understand. The Swedish people, they're still sitting home drinking coffee, not seeing what is coming. We have 1.3 million people who's supported, most of them illiterate people who have come to Sweden. If you're a Swedish person, because we have no housing, lack of housing. Magdalena Andersson was bragging that they built 400,000 houses the last 7 years or whatever it was. But it's all given to the immigrants living on social security. A Swede has no priority. A Swede could be in a queue for housing for 10, 20 years. An immigrant comes to the airport, lies, oh, I'm from Afghanistan, I've never been to Afghanistan, don't even know where Afghanistan is on the map. Oh, here, come, we give you housing, we give you money, we give you clothes, we give you iPhone, we give you everything. For what reason? I don't understand. Why do we want these people to come and be a burden to the society? If anybody can explain that to me, I'd be very happy to listen and have a discussion. Thanks everybody for watching, and for you English guys around the world, if you have any videos you want to post on my channel, please send them over and I'll be happy to do it. Take care everybody, and I talk to you later. Bye.